Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I am here today with a jewelry share, and I'm also going to do a tutorial. So let's just jump right in and I'll show you what I created. So I've had these like natural stones for quite some time. I want to say I picked them up at Michael's in their jewelry section. This has probably been a couple of years, like this turquoise color stone, and it comes in all different kinds of shapes. I feel like I've seen it at Hobby Lobby as well, but I decided to play around with it. You guys know blue is my favorite color, but this stone in particular is one of my favorites. So I've made lots of jewelry with these because this was a really huge box, but I've used quite a few of them. So now it's small enough to fit in this little container that I have. But let me show you guys what I created. So I did do a stretchy bracelet combo, which is always an easy and fun go-to. So let me show you the individual ones that I made. So this is the first one, and I just alternated like some of these oval shaped stones. And the fun thing about these, no two are the same. Some are more blue, some are more greenish, but I love that. And I love mixing. This one right here, Anna made this for me years ago, and it's with silver. I can do it with silver too, and it's really pretty, but I just love gold with this color. So I did put some glass stones. They're like gold on one side and like a milk glass on the other side. So I kind of sandwiched those in between some bead spacers, and I just repeated the pattern all the way around. So that's the first one. And then I did add some little dangles. You guys know I like dangles, and I like my jewelry to be really junky when I put it on, so it looks like it's just like a mess of jewelry, and I love that look. So that's the first one that I created. And then I did this one, and this one I used some little flat stones that were in that box. The glass beads I kind of kept similar just so that they are matching. I did use a couple different kinds, but you know, just something that would be matching to this. And I did intermix some wooden beads in here. These are recycled from another bracelet set that I had. Whenever, you know, because over time your findings, if they're not real, which you know, a lot of people that make handmade jewelry, we get the stuff from Michael's or wherever we get it from, and you know, and it's not real. So I just take it all apart and I recycle some of the things back into it. So these wooden beads were recycled from another bracelet set that I had. So I did a dangle here, and there's some heart-shaped ones in that little thing that I just showed you. There's all different kinds of fun shapes in there, so I kind of mixed them. So I did that as my dangle. Then again, I did some more of those gold and like milky glass beads, and I mixed in the wooden beads this time, as you know, what was kind of going in between. So that's the second one that I did. And then I did this one. These beads right here are also recycled. These like bronzy color ones, which they're kind of clear on one side and more bronzy on the other. And I added this really pretty cross, or I guess it's a cross, that was in that set of beads as well. And then I did another little dangle. And then I did this combination with these like square bead spacers. And I did a little bit of chain in between the two blue beads. And then I just repeated that pattern, and I added chain in between all of the beads, all of the blue beads. So that's the fourth one. See, I'm definitely going to wear all of these together, and I like that look. And then here's the last one, where I use some of these really pretty glass beads, and then I use these little fun little flat like flower licking spacers, and some more of those wooden beads that I recycled. And then again, I just repeated that pattern all the way around. And on this one, I added a little heart charm and a little one of the gold and milk glass beads. So that's the whole set, and of course, you know, I will be rocking that whole thing together. So that's the set that I created. Then I also made some little earrings to go with it. I found these little hooks, I believe at Hobby Lobby quite some time ago. And then I just took some more of the beads from that package. And I just put a smaller bead cap at the bottom and a larger one at the top. And these are so easy to make. I mean, literally, that's how you unhook it. And you know, once you create your little dangle, literally the only thing you're doing is sliding it on there and letting it like drop down into that, and then it closes so easily. So this is a really super easy way to make some simple earrings to go with something that you've created, and then you have this really cute look. And I just love that these two beads are the same size and everything, but they're different. So I love that. So those are the earrings that I created. Now this ring, I did not newly create it, but I did have a request on the first swap that Anna and I did for this year. We did a ring swap. So we're doing jewelry. So I made this quite some time ago because I already sent her the one that I made. So I just pulled one that I had in my stash that I had already created. So this is made with wire. What is that wire called? Artistic wire. And just some seed beads. So I'm going to show you guys very quickly how I put this together. I wouldn't go more than like 3 loops, like a half loop and 2 full loops, only because of you have to be mindful of your knuckle. So if you make it go down too far, it won't allow for your finger to go through, or excuse me, to bend. So that's what I would recommend. So if you see in the back, it's like 3 full loops, and then I closed mine on the back, but you can make it come to where it would come all the way around to the front. Or I'm sorry, you can cut this shorter and stop it here, and then you could put dangles on both sides. That's how Anna did hers. I do mine like this, where I just put one set of dangle at the top, but it's completely up to you. So what you will need to create that ring, you need a ring mandrel, so that I'm sure everybody knows their ring size. You will need some, I wouldn't recommend anything smaller than an 18 gauge artistic wire to create the ring, just because it's a bit sturdier. The higher the number, the thinner it gets, and then it won't be as strong, and it'll bend and be all flexible. So I feel like the 18 gauge is probably the best way to go. You will need your jewelry tools. You'll need this, the needle nose. You'll definitely need your snippers, and I think that's it. So really, these are the only 2 that you're going to need. So my ring size is a 7.5, but you have to consider that these beads, once you string them on there, even though they're seed beads, and these are the larger kind of seed beads, they're going to take up some of the space. So you have to think about that when you're making it. So I'm going to wrap mine at about a 9.5. And you can always adjust it later, but it needs to be a little bit, like at least a full size bigger, maybe a little bit larger than that. So again, I'm like, it just depends, depends on the day. 7.5 to an 8 is my ring size. So again, I'm going to do it at a 9.5, and I can always correct it later if I need to. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring mandrel, you're going to find the size that you want to wrap it to. So I'm going to do it just beyond the 9. So you do want to wrap it to, don't start, have it just slightly above the ring mandrel, because that's where you're going to create your loop. So then you're going to take your artistic wire and start wrapping it around. And it's okay if it bends, because it'll correct itself. And then you want to just go ahead and go all the way back to the other side. Now, when you cut it, do not cut it too close, because you do need to kind of keep trying it on as you go to see where it is that you want to end your ring. So we'll say this one is the top. So of course you're going to go ahead and create that little loop. If you don't want a loop and you're not going to hang charms, don't worry about that part. I mean, you still have to create a loop, but you don't necessarily have to hang charms from it. I just like that look. So that's where you're going to take your needle nose pliers, and you're going to go ahead and create a loop. So we're going to go ahead and do a little loop at the top and just go ahead and, you know, round it all the way around till it reaches and touches itself and it's closed. So then it's going to look like this. Now is the part that you're going to start stringing your beads on. So this one, like I said, you can do one more loop if you want, but just be mindful of your knuckle because you won't be able to bend your finger if it goes too far. So this one is going to be like, you're going to have beads on 3 strands because I like to stop mine at the back. So make sure you get, and if you use tinier seed beads, like, let me show you. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with seed beads. Like, you have this larger size. If you use you know, like the micro seed beads like these, you'll have to adjust the size that you make it to, because obviously these are not going to take up as much space as these. These are way larger. So I would say if you're going to use these tiny size beads, you probably only need to go up like maybe one size bigger, maybe a little bit smaller than that. But again, look how much larger these are. So that's why I make it so much bigger, to accommodate for the size of the seed beads that I'm going to be using. So I'll just string a few, and it's up to you how you want to do your beads. If you want to do them all one color, or if you want to add in, you know, some different colors, it's up to you. You know, make it fun however you would like to wear it. And then of course you're going to just go ahead and start adding your beads, and I'll just do a few because I have one that's already connected, or already almost completed. So as you're doing this, I would recommend that you try it on a few times before you seal it off, just to make sure it's the size that you want. And then, you know, just keep pushing them forward until, you know, it gets to the top. So this would be the top of the ring. And then, you know, once you get it on your ring mandrel, you can also mold it down to, you know, so that it looks like a full loop. But that's how you create it. So I did start on one that I was working on just to show you guys in the video. So I've alternated my colors. I did blue and gold. So I'm at the very end and I'm going to close mine off at the back. So hold on, I'm just going to snip a little bit more of this off. All right. And then we're going to create one more loop with your needle nose pliers. And just make sure that it closes all the way so your beads don't come off of here. And I really hope that I'm in frame. So now it's closed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back on my ring mandrel, and I'm going to shape it so that it's perfectly round all the way around. So that they don't, you know, the ends don't look like they're sticking up. And that's all you have to do to create this ring. And again, see, mine is going to be closed off at the back, and then I would hang some gems from here. This one, where's the original one I had? This one has another loop on it, so I made this one a little bit shorter. But again, you don't want to make it any more than like 4 circles all the way around. So that's how I created it. And then of course I have on here, let me take off this ring. So, and again, I just kept kind of playing around with it until I got it where I wanted it to be. Oops, I have it upside down. So that's how it would look. And then you would just hang your little stones from there. And you can, of course, scooch it closer together. So you'll just kind of play around with it until you get it the shape that you want it and how you want it to look. But that's how I created it. Super simple. And then again, if you want this to go all the way around and have some more charms, just make sure to cut your wire a little bit longer. But that's the gist of how I created those rings. So thank you guys so much for stopping by to take a look at my tutorial and my jewelry. And you guys have a great day. I'll be back with some more videos. And I'm sorry if my camera's like kind of to the side. I hope it wasn't to the side this whole time. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.